So today, once again, welcome to you all to today's session, that is financial accounting. And the topics to be covered for the day are the numerical question you will solve, and you will have the knowledge, you will have the skill that how to solve, how to prepare the financial statement, final accounts, and it will consist trading account, profit and loss account, balance sheet, and adjustments. So as you are aware that already you have the trial balance, and on the basis of the trial balance you have to prepare your final accounts, the financial statements at the end of the financial year. So what is the purpose? As you are aware that trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet are prepared in order to find, in order to measure the financial performance of any business organization and to determine the financial position of a business. So trading account will provide you the gross profit, and profit and loss account will provide you net profit or net loss, and balance sheet will describe the financial position of the business enterprise. So in order to prepare the financial statement, the very first you have to consider the trial balance, because the balances which were extracted from ledger are presented in the trial balance, and through trial balance you have to prepare the final accounts. So what are the final account is the set of the financial statements, and it is prepared at the end of the accounting period. As you know that accounting years are of two types, the calendar year and financial year. Financial year begins from 1st April to 31st March, ending 31st March, and the calendar year begins on 1st January and ending to 31st December. So as per the financial year, you have to prepare your final accounts. So on 31st March 2024, you have to prepare the final accounts. So final accounts are those financial statements which provide you the information regarding financial performance of a business, and you can compare with the past performance of the business enterprise, and also you can compare the financial performance of the business with other competitors financial performance. And the balance sheet will determine the financial position. It means what is the liquidity with the business enterprise, what about the capital, liability and assets. So whenever the stakeholders are desiring to have the information regarding the financial performance, or they have to take the informed decision regarding the budgeting or financial management and cost management, controlling the cost, so they need the final accounts to be prepared, right? So we come to solve the numerical question in Excel. So this is the trial balance as on 31st March 2024. With these items, as you can read, the capital, drawing, sales, purchases, written inward, written outward, wages, carries inward, carries outward, salaries, rent, insurance, debtor, creditors, furniture, machinery, cash in hand, bank balance, provision for doubtful debts, closing stock. So this is the particular statement, that is trial balance as on 31st March 2024, and with the help of these balances of accounts you have to prepare the final accounts, including trading account, P&L account, it means profit and loss account, and balance sheet. Sometimes you are given the additional information in the form of adjustments, so these adjustments are to be adjusted at the time of preparation of final account. So depreciation on furniture and machinery is to be charged at 10% and 15% per annum respectively. Provision for doubtful debts is to be maintained at 5%. It means this is the new provision. And outstanding wages, it means the wages is due, you have not paid till now, so 10,000. And prepaid insurance, it means in advance you have made the payment, so that is the prepaid insurance. It is not related to the current year. So the very first thing you have to keep in your mind when you are preparing the final accounts, that you go through the trial balance and thoroughly you read, so that you confirm that exactly what item is given to you in your trial balance, and where it will be shown, it will be recorded in the final accounts, right? So one by one, first of all, verbally we have to consider these items, that the first item or the account is capital account, that is rupees 5 lakh. So it will be liability, so it would be shown in the liability side of balance sheet. And drawings, as you know that drawing means that you have withdrawn the amount, right, from your business for the personal use. So this is the drawing. It means it will result in reduction of the capital, so you have to reduce the capital by rupees 50,000 in the form of drawings. And sales account is, it is given rupees 8 lakh. So it is the revenue generated by the operation of business, so it is the part of trading account, and it is income, so that would be shown in the credit side of trading account. And purchases rupees 4 lakh. So again, this is the trading item, so trading account debit side it will be shown in. And return inward, what is the return inward? Sometimes students get confused that what is written inward and what is written outward, because the purchase return and sales return, these are the two terms that you can easily understand. But when it is written inward and written outward, so you have to be conscious when you are recording this particular item, right? So written inward, it means the particular return which is coming inside of your within in your organization, so that is written inward. It means what kind of the inward, what goods you are taking inside, what you have sold, right? So this is the sales return. And return outward, it means you are returning the goods to your supplier, right? It means the goods you purchased, and now due to any reason, due to the defective goods or any other reason, you are returning the goods outside to your supplier. So this is the good, this is the return related to the purchase. So this is purchase return rupees 10,000, and it would be subtracted from your purchases in the trading account, right? So as you see that return inward is given you in the debit column. Why? Because this particular amount is to be subtracted from the sales account, and sales is written in the credit side of trading account, and something or any value is subtracted, so that time it is assumed that this value is debited. So this particular amount is debit, so it is called the sales return. And sales and return outward, it means you are returning the goods to your supplier, that is the purchase return. Okay. And what about the wages? Wages is the direct expenses, because it is involved in the cost of production. This is the direct cost, so it is the part of the trading account. As I told you earlier that the direct cost or direct expenses would be mentioned in the trading account, okay, or it is related to the factory expenses. Carries inward, it means you are bringing some goods into your factory, into your business, so this is again the direct cost, so it would be mentioned in the trading account debit side. Yes, this is noteworthy that all the expenses and losses would be shown in the debit side, right? So but you have to consider whether in the trading account or P&L account. So you have to keep in your mind that first you read the entire question very carefully, so that you avoid any mistake, okay? And carries outward, it would be shown in the debit side of P&L account, because it is the indirect cost. And salaries again in the P&L account debit side, rent P&L in the debit side, insurance in the debit side of P&L account, and debtors as known the assets, so it would be shown in the balance sheet in the asset side. And creditors are rupees 80,000 as given to you, it is the liability, so would be shown in the liability side of balance sheet. And furniture, machinery, cash, bank, these are the four assets in your trial balance, and you have to show in the balance sheet debit side, right? And provision for doubtful debts, okay, it is the matter of debtors, it is the matter of bad debts provision. So adjustment may be given you in the question, so you have to be very careful when you are writing this particular loss or expense, right? And closing stock is given you, rupees 80,000 in the trial balance. So it is very important point that when you are considering, when you are carrying this particular balance of closing stock to your financial statement, so that time you have to think, if the closing stock is given you in the debit side or in the trial balance, right? So it would be written in the assets only, right? And sometimes you will see that the additional information or the adjustment are given you below the trial balance. So if closing stock is given you in the adjustment, so it will take the entry two times. It means in the debit side and the credit side, the credit side of the trading account and debit side of the assets in the balance sheet. Okay, so basically when we are going to prepare any final account, this is the responsibility of every student to go throughout the trial balance and adjustment, and you mark the adjustment with the items, because you have to subtract, you have to add some value. So that time maybe you miss some any information, right? And that time you have to take the total and you have to find out the balance. So you need to mark the adjustment with the items, so that whenever you are preparing the final accounts, it would be easy for you to adjust the particular adjustment. Okay, so depreciation of furniture and machinery, so we are just mentioning that furniture. Okay, I just give a mark, that is okay, I just make it with color. Okay, green. It means there is an adjustment. Okay, and machinery. Okay, there is an adjustment of the depreciation again, right? And provision for doubtful debts, it means it is related to debtors. So debtor, okay, there is an adjustment. And outstanding wages. Okay, wages is given to you, right? So there is an adjustment. And any other adjustment you have to watch. Yes, prepaid insurance, so insurance will have an adjustment. Okay, so what is the way exactly to prepare the final account? So first of all, we have to draw the columns of final account. You can see trading account and profit and loss account both will be prepared together, right? The very first part would be trading account and second will relate to profit and loss account. Okay, debit and credit side. And after that, you can see that balance sheet as on 31st March, liability, amount, assets and amount. Okay, let's start with the question. So the very first account is capital account, and capital account, as I told you, it is the liability. So 5 lakh rupees would be shown in the liability as a in the balance sheet. It is the liability. So capital, right? And rupees 5 lakh. So you should mention inner side this particular amount, because some amount of net profit would be added in it, and the if the drawing is given to you in the question, you have to subtract. So 5 lakh is your capital, and drawings rupees 5,000, 50,000 or 5,000, 50,000. Yes, so you have to mention 50,000 drawings. Yes, leave two lines because you have to add the profit. Rupees 50,000, right? And sales is given to you rupees 8 lakh. So in the trading account credit side, by sales account, right? That is 8 lakh. Rupees 8 lakh. Okay, and purchase is given to you rupees 4 lakh, right? So if opening stock is given to you, then first write down the opening stock, and after that you have to mention the entry of purchase account. But right in this question, the opening stock is not mentioned, so directly we write to purchase, right? Now how much amount? 4 lakh. And return inward sales return, so 20,000 minus return inward, 10,000 or 20,000. Okay, just check it. Return inward 20,000. Okay, and you find the amount 7 lakh 80,000. Okay, and return inward 20,000, return outward 10,000. Credit side, it means you have to subtract this value. Return outward, this is the purchase return, right? And amount is given to you, return outward 10,000. So amount would be 3 lakh 90,000. Wages rupees 1 lakh, but it is marked with green color. It means there was the adjustment. That's why I was telling you that you should mark, otherwise you will make a mistake, right? So wages rupees 1 lakh. Right, rupees 1 lakh. And now adjustment, you may adjust the adjustment in a particular statement in two ways, that along with the item, when you write the item, that time you can adjust. Okay, otherwise first you fill all the items in your financial statement, and at last you will adjust all the additional information. So this is the best practice, that first you should write all the items from the trial balance. Okay, so in a particular sequence we are solving this particular numerical, right? So uh, wages you have mentioned, carries inward, carries inward 5,000, carries outward 6,000. Okay, just leave one single line, because there is an adjustment, and now you have to mention two. Carries inward, this is your 6,000 or 5,000, 5,000 I think. Okay, you can check it. Yes, it is 5,000 carries inward, and carries outward. Okay, so you have to write here, because it is indirect cost to carriage outward. Okay, and it is for rupees 6,000. And salary is rupees 60,000. Okay, is there any adjustment? uh, there is no any adjustment on carriage inward, carriage outward, salaries. Okay, so salaries is 60,000, and rent is given to you 24,000. Right. Insurance with adjustment 12,000. Right. And because we are writing these amounts in inner column, so we can identify that there is a particular adjustment in the question given, right, and it is related to this inner item. Okay, rent, insurance, and debtor 1,20,000 with adjustment. And there may be a particular sequence that first you write the fixed assets and after that the current assets, but right now in this question I am ignoring, and we have to just focus on to fill the items from trial balance to financial statement, right? So debtor 1,20,000 with adjustment and creditor rupees 80,000. And after that furniture 50 and machinery 150. Right, and cash in hand 275 and bank 48. Provision for doubtful debts has given to you 10,000. So this is the credit balance basically. So when there is a particular adjustment on debtors, like provision for doubtful debt, so it is to be maintained at debtor. So you have to calculate 5% of debtor, right? Okay, just try it. How to show it? I show you that what is the value of debtors 1,20,000. Okay, so you have to calculate 5% of this particular amount, right? Okay, we calculate it 1,20,000 into 5 and divided by 100. So this is the particular amount, rupees 6,000. It is new provision or new provision for bad debts or provision for bad debts. Right, what is the amount? Rupees 6,000. So you have to mention total 120. Okay, it is to be subtracted, right? So 1,14,000. And this particular provision, it is 6,000, so it should be added into the old provision, in the old bad debts, right? Old bad debts, it means when the bad debts are given to you in the trial. Okay, so is there any bad debts? No, there was no any bad debts, right? But the provision was given to you. So the particular adjustment would be made on the debtors, and this new provision would be added in the bad debts if given in your trial. So the very first thing is bad debt, then plus new provision, and then you have to subtract the old provision that is given you in credit side in the trial balance. So this is the 10,000. This amount 10,000 is for provision for doubtful debts, and it would be assumed as a old provision, right? So it would be subtracted, but as you are observing, there is no case of bad debts in the trial balance, and the new provision is less than the old provision because 6,000 is the new provision, So adjustment would be adjusted in the accounts two side, right? So two new provision for bad debts, right? Rupees 6,000. And as you can not subtract the 10,000 out of 6,000, there would be answer in negative or in minus. So you should write, right, in the credit side this particular old provision by provision provision for bad debts. It is the old provision, right? 10,000. I think you develop the understanding of solving it. Okay, provision for doubtful debts and closing stock. As I told you that closing stock is given you in the debit side, so it would not be shown in the trading account. It would be shown in the balance sheet, right? Closing stock 80,000, right? So you have filled all the items from trial balance to your final accounts, and now this is the time to adjust the additional information. So very carefully you have to read one by one all the adjustment. The first is depreciation. So depreciation is the loss and it is to be charged by 10% and 15% respectively on furniture and machinery. So 10% on furniture, okay, we approach to the furniture 10%. So you have to write less depreciation, okay, and 10% it is 5,000, it would be, you have to calculate, and the amount you have to write down outside 45,000, and simultaneously you have to write 5,000 in the debit side of P&L account to depreciation on furniture, okay. When you solve the question you should write the full form, right, not in the short, and for understanding I am writing here the depreciation on furniture rupees 5,000, and the next adjustment is that depreciation on machinery 15%, okay. So we have to solve machinery, right, and already we have left the line, so less depreciation. Okay, and what would be the amount? 22,500, right? And you have to subtract 1,50,000 minus 22,500. You will find 1,27,500. Okay. So, and you have to mention this depreciation on machinery in the debit side of P&L account to depreciation on machinery 22,500, right. And we need another information, additional information, provision for doubtful debts, already we have done it, and outstanding wages amount rupees 10,000. So outstanding wages at outstanding wages 10,000. So you have to mention rupees 1,10,000, and this is the liability. So you have to mention in the liability side outstanding wages 10,000, right. And other additional information is given to you, prepaid insurance, right. So it means you have made the payment in advance, so this is an asset, right. So you have to subtract this amount because okay, I will be covering the different adjustment in my next lecture. Right now we are focusing on filling the items or the very common adjustment we have to solve, we have to adjust in the final accounts. So today we are focusing on preparing the final accounts with the balances which were extracted from the ledger and in the form of trial balance is given to you in your question. Okay, and in the next session we would be covering the different adjustment. We would be focusing on the adjustment additional information. Okay, so right now you have to focus that how to primarily you have to prepare the final accounts, right, with the information given in the trial balance and the adjustment as given to you. So prepared insurance, okay, insurance 2000, then less prepaid insurance 2000, so amount would be in the outside 10,000, right? And so I think all the adjustment have been done and all the items you considered in the trial balance and you mentioned in the final accounts in the right place. Okay, so now the trading account, the P&L account and the balance sheet you have prepared, and this is the time for closing the accounts. Okay, so just a minute, we are removing these extra lines. Okay, so you have to take the total of the trading account. It is 780, right? 780, and this same amount would be written over here, 780, and the total of this debit side is 5 lakh 50. So you have to subtract uh, this amount minus this amount and you will find 275,000, right? And this is the total, and this is the total, and this is called the gross profit. To gross profit CD, it means carry down in the P&L account. So by uh, gross profit BD rupees 27,500 double zero 2,75,000, and right, okay, and we have to take the total of this is 2,85,000 2,85,000, and we should make the total of the debit side also. This is 1,33,500, so we have to subtract this amount from this total and we find rupees 151500. It is your net profit. To net profit CD, right, or to the capital account, net profit transferred to capital. Okay, so what was the particular total of it? It was sorry, just remove it. Just remove it, right, and 285, and the total is rupees 133,500. Okay, and you have to subtract this particular amount of debit side from 285 minus 133,500, it means 151. I just show you again, okay, how to calculate this profit. 151,500, right? So this is the total, and now you get the net profit, rupees 1,51,500. So this is the part of now capital. Net profit would be added, 151,500. So you find this amount 6,515,000, right? And 50,000 you have to you have to subtract, and you will find equal this one minus this one. Then okay, when will we solve it? 6 lakh 1,500. Okay, so uh, we have calculated this amount. Now we take the total of this, 6,91,500, and we take the total of the debit side, 689,500. There is a mismatch. So basically this happens if because we are getting the values, okay, so we have to calculate again because something was left, right? So what happened that prepaid insurance, so I just showed you that what was the mistake, because you have to match the balance sheet, okay? So if any adjustment is not provided, or it is not written correctly, or it is not entered in the two sides, so there would be impact on the balance sheet or trading account or P&L account, and your balance sheet will not match. So you have to ensure that both the side, liability side and asset side, have the equal balance, right? Equal total. So that time you would be sure that your numerical problem, this as you are solving, is correct, right, and correctly solved. So prepaid insurance was left. So prepaid insurance, how much is given to you? 2,000, right? Now 6,91,500. So dear students, this is the particular demonstration that how to solve a numerical problem of final account, and you have to match. And it was shown during this solution that if you leave any particular adjustment that was related to for example prepaid insurance, so there would be a mismatch in both the sides total. So in order to ensure that you correctly solve this question, you have to focus that very firstly the step by step you should solve it. The first step is that you should go through the trial balance, so that you read carefully all the items, all the accounts given in the trial balance, and you have to imagine where it should be placed, right, in the final accounts, whether in trading account, profit and loss account, or balance sheet. And once you fill all the items from trial balance to your final accounts in trading, P&L and balance sheet, after that you should when you are reading the items, and after that you should read the adjustment also, because you have to mark the items with the adjustment, because you have to leave the lines in order to take the total, or if you are going to make any adjustment, okay? So after reading carefully the items in the trial balance and the adjustment as given you, provided you in your question, and you mark the adjustment, you mark the items with the adjustment, and after that you have to fill all the fill the final accounts, trading, P&L and balance sheet with the items given or provided in trial balance, and after that you have to make the adjustment, right? And the calculation work will be done after that, okay? So one by one, step by step, you have to complete this numerical problem. So as you are familiar with the format of trading account, profit and loss account and balance sheet, so I think it would be very convenient to you to solve any numerical problem, okay, in this order. So first thing is that you keep in your mind, you have to remember the format of the trading account, profit and loss account, and you have to identify this is the expenses, this is the income, this is liability or assets, because every account, every head would take the place in the right place in the final account. Otherwise there would be the wrong entry in the final accounts, and the numerical you cannot solve very correctly, okay. So you have to take care of this. So I think this is enough for the day. And in the next session, I would be covering the new question of final accounts with more adjustment, and we have to focus on the adjustment also. And one by one, we would be focusing each and every adjustment, because the adjustment play a very vital role while preparing the financial statement. But it is not to ignore that. The trial balance having the different accounts, and you should very carefully understand that what kind of the account is given to you, and where it would be placed, okay. Thank you very much.